Hello there, everybody. It's the Dankosaur here. Welcome back to part 3 of the platformer shooter tutorial. And today, we've got some good stuff lined up. Number 1, we're going to get more like gun stuff. We're going to get some more of like a gun selection-y type thing going. And then we're going to get so we can shoot the guns that we set up. It's going to be a good time. And let's not waste any more time and get right into this. So for Number 1, we're going to set up a way that we can select some guns. So even though our guns aren't going to shoot or do anything, we can at least set up a system in which we can, like, that we can switch between them and whatnot. So let's see if I can find a thing. Here we go. Alright. So. Alright. Let's do this. So number 1. We're going to go to our object player. Hello, player. And now we're going to add a new bit of code. Boink. We're going to add in our notes. And we're going to say select guns with numbers. So basically we're going to be able to use just the numbers up here to select different guns and whatnot. So we're going to say if keyboard check pressed. And here we're going to go ORD. And then we're going to put a little single parenthesis, 1, single parenthesis, bam, bam. So what this ORD does, I'm not really sure what the ORD itself stands for. I should look that up, to be honest. Basically what it allows you to do is this is where you put other keys that aren't defined with VK. So you can go like VK underscore, right here. And if we wait just a second, mine takes a little bit a while. We can see all the different keys that we can hit on the keyboard, right? As far as keys we can use like that, like numpad, everything like that. But you use ORD to check the key presses or whatnot of like other keys. So you can put letters in here, the numbers, pretty much anything like that. So pretty awesome. So this is the way this is gonna go. We're gonna go current gun equals 0. All right, and then we're gonna say. I don't think we need to put that quite yet. But we might as well. This will be later. We want to do this right now so we don't have to come back and do it. We want to go alarm 1 equals -1. Basically, eventually, alarm 1 will become our reloading timer. And so when you switch a gun, it'll just turn off that timer. So that's basically what we want to do. Now, what we want to do now is I'm not going to type it again. I'm going to go over here. I'm going to copy it. And this is what we're going to do every time we paste it. We're going to paste this. We're going to change this to a number higher than that. And we're going to add 1 to this. Alright? And basically, I'm going to just keep copying it just to ensure that everything stays the same. So 3. This is 2. And we're going to go all the way up to technically like 0. It'll be 10 numbers though. So we're going to be 4. This one's going to be 3. I'm going to take this. I'm going to stretch it out just a little bit so we can get more of a look on all of it. We're going to change this to 5. We're going to change this to 4. Alright. Then we're going to change this to 6. We're going to change this to 5. I think I was actually thinking there might be an easier way to do this. But I don't do things easily. So anyways, we're going to change that to 7, change that to 6. We're going to change that to 8. We're going to change this to 7. We're going to change this to 9. We're going to change this to 8. And then the only thing that changes about this is that we're going to change this to 0, and we're going to change this to 9. Then the last thing we're going to do is we're going to put current gun equals clamp. And then we're going to say current gun 0 and then ds underscore list size of guns -1. So let me explain what this is going to do. So our current gun is just a 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, basically like 0 through 9, or whichever slot in our gun inventory that we're going to select. So basically we're going to be able to hold 10 guns at once. But you can change this system so you can hold as many as you want, really. So if you changed it so if you scrolled or something and it would change the guns. or whatnot, you could do that as well. Or if you press like Q or whatever, you know, then you can do that as well. This is just the way that I'm doing it for now, but we can change it later. So clamp, basically what this does is that you define two like numbers, and then it'll limit this variable right here, or rather this one, to whatever limits you set on it. So we're going to clamp our current gun, or the slot that we're holding. We're going to limit it so its minimum value is 0, so it can't go below 0, and its maximum is the size of our list minus 1. And the reason we're doing minus 1 is that right now we have one gun in our inventory, right? So our DS list size is going to bring back a 1. But that slot number in the list is technically slot 0, so that's why we're minusing 1 to get it so it's 0. So basically, we could, as long as we have one gun in our inventory, we can only ever select 0. So which is cool, because then even if we press like 6, right, and it sets our gun to 5, it'll come down here, and since 5 is above our maximum, it'll set it to 0. But if our maximum was like 3 per se, or let's just say, and we set to 5, it'll then set it to 3. So it's kind of a cool function, especially to use with like health bars and things like that. But you can use it a lot for a lot of different things. So basically, this is our system that we're going to use to set up lots of opportunities to select some guns. Now, the next thing we're going to do is now we're going to use the system that we set up to easily add guns to easily add a gun. All right. So we can get out of our player, and then we go to our object controller. Well, actually, first we need to go all the way to our sprites, and we need to add some stuff for this. So we're going to add our guns, right? So now I'm going to move this up here. We're going to add another gun. I've got mine already made, so it'll be quick for me, but you guys will have to do more guns. So this is my second gun right here. Just to give you an idea of what it kind of looks like. It looks like this. We've seen it before, and then this is its firing animation. If I just go through it really quick, right? This one's supposed to be like a rapid fire, lower damage type gun. So the last thing we need to do is we need to adjust the X and the Y. So it's like more on the shoulder. So as you can see, that's pretty close. That's pretty good right there. Just to make sure that that origin is right there on like that shoulder spot. Then we just need SPR bullet 2. Even though we haven't used bullets yet, we're going to get to that today. So we're going to make sure, we want to make sure we have everything done for that. So we're going to add in our bullet 2. I'm going to center it. And that's all that needs to be done for that. So, now that we've got kind of our resources in place, we can add it to the database to get everything set up as far as all of its numbers go, so we can have that in there. So now we're just going to do the same thing, add gun database, and this one we're going to call the pulse repeater. Its sprite is SPR gun 2. The amount of frames it has is 5. Object bullets 2 will be its object, but doesn't have one right now. The gun length is 12. It's a little bit shorter. Let's see. The bullet speed is also 12. The bullets move at the same, like across the screen at the same way. Its fire rate is 0.1 seconds, but its reload time is 5 seconds. The max bullets it has is 500, which is a lot. How many bullets per clip is 50. 50 bullets per clip. Its spread is 2. The other one was 0. This one is going to be 2, so the bullets will kind of spread out more as they go. Its knockback is 1, so it has less knockback. And its damage multiplier is 0.2, which means each bullet has 20% of our player's damage. Alright, and that's it. That's it. We've added a new gun to the database. Super easy. We just need to make a new bullet really quick. So bullets, we can actually just duplicate this one because it's going to be the same. We can just call this object bullet 2. And we can just say that it has the new sprite. Everything else should be the same, so we don't need to worry about that. Now that everything's set up. So now what's really cool is now with all that set up, we can also go back in here and we can say SCR add inventory. We can now add a 1 or our next gun, right? Alright, and there's actually a way that we can even make this easier too. But number one, let's just get this set up so we can get this all done. So now if we go into this, boink, we have our number 1 gun right here. This is the same thing that we did before, but now if we press 2, we see that we now select this one. But you can see like my shoulder changes. So the X and Y needs to be like adjusted for this gun. So make sure that my shoulder stays in the same place so it doesn't look all weird. So what does it need to do? It just looks like its Y is too high, so we just need to lower its Y a little bit. But that's good. Now we can, by pressing 1 and 2, we get that all selected. And everything is all set. Alright. So now we can just go into the sprite right here. I wish you could like zoom in on this. I know you can in Gamemaker Studio 2, because this is technically just Gamemaker Studio 1. But alright, that should be, well, I feel like it should be 6. Either way, it's not a huge deal. So that's how easy adding guns is. And then we can actually do something even easier. So I'm gonna, this is not something I did in my like example, but it'll be really cool. So we're gonna set up something called an enumerator, which is pretty crazy. So let's see if I can remember how to do this. Enum gun IDs. Right? Yes. And I'll type this out first. So we have the combine equals 0, comma, repeater equals 1, colon. Or just like that. Okay. This is what this is doing. So basically this enumerator is basically setting up a bunch of like words that are going to be equal to numbers. Basically, it's just a thing to help with programming, so you don't have to remember all the like the numerical values of stuff when dealing with things like this, like arrays and IDs and stuff like that. You can just set up this so it gets everything all taken care of, because now everything should be red if we go into it. So now what we can do is we go to our player, right? And in here instead we can type gun IDs, because that's what we set it up as, point, and then we have the combine. And that's all we need to do there. So it's kind of cool, because then it will look in gun IDs, which is this enumerator, gun IDs, and then it will, since we have point combine, right, it's going to look at combine, it's going to say, oh, that's a 0, and it's going to put a 0 in there. And what's not. So that's pretty awesome. So then it makes it really easy, so instead it's being like, okay, like once we have like 50 guns in the game or something, you know, we don't want to be like, okay, I want to give the player like a shotgun or whatever, right? We don't want to be like, okay, the shotgun is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You know, we can just set up the enumerator, and then we can just go gun IDs point shotgun if, you know, if we had one, but we don't. Right now we can just go repeater, and everything's all simple. Everything's all good. Huh. All right, and that'll work all just the same, and that's cool. Now. Now we get to the things. We get to the star of this programming tutorial. We got everything set up. We got all of our guns set up. A really easy system to add guns and everything like that. Now we need to make it so we can fire them. And this is where things are gonna get sketchy. So we set up all this stuff, correct? Correct. That's all set up. Now we need to then set up just a few things real quick. We need to set up an alarm 0. This one's going to be really easy. Put in some code, triple dash, and we're going to say ready to fire. This is really easy. This is simple. That's all we need to do right here. We just need to make sure that there's some code in here for the alarm to run, so that the software, so like the Gamemaker knows that this alarm is like finished, and so we can use it. Now we need to set up alarm 1. And this one is going to be dash 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 finish reloading. Alright, so now this is the thing that's gonna like give us a new like clip into our ammo right now. So this is gonna be, like I said, this whole thing is pretty complicated, this whole system, but it works really nice. And the nice thing about it is that we only need to set up the system once. And then we can just add guns, give guns, whatever. That part will be really easy. Just setting up the system in the first place, not so much. But it's okay, because I figured it all out for you. So first off, we're going to say global.data gun, and we're going to do the same thing. It's data gun clip, where I'm just going to kind of type it out and then explain what's going to be happening. So we're going to do left bracket and then the line. We're going to say guns, left bracket, line, which is above the enter key, and we're going to say current gun. This right here, this double accessor, I explained in the last video. Basically, we're just using that to get information from our main database of all the information of all the guns. This is how we're going to run that. Gun, current, ammo, left bracket, line, current, gun, bracket. So first off, we're gonna find the data clip, the clip of the gun. So in the case of our combine, the number of bullets per clip is 12. In the case of our repeater, it's 50, right? So basically, depending on whatever gun we're holding, we can then just find that information. So if we're holding our combine, it's going to look in here and this will receive a 12, all right? So we're going to say this is a 12 right now because that's what this is going to return in the case that we're holding a repeater. Is greater than the current ammo, right? Or so because then we have an array of information that keeps track of how much ammo our guy actually has with that gun. So this is just the information, so it knows what it's looking at. But this is how much ammo it actually has. So as we switch between guns, it'll keep the same information. So that's just what this array does that we set up. Where it says current ammo, which is how much is in that gun right there. So if our current ammo is, and let's see, if I can go back here and say add inventory. Our max ammo, and then current ammo, current clip. So yeah. Our current ammo is going to be just how much ammo we have left in the gun overall, not just in the clip. And so, what we're going to do then... Oh, whoops. Let's go back into that. There we go. Is that as long as we have more bullets to put into a full clip, this is how we're going to do it. Gun, current, clip is then now how many bullets we actually have in this current gun clip, right? Plus equals, so we're going to add to it gun, current, ammo, sorry, I'm just trying to remember why this is like this, and then bracket, line, current, gun, like this. So oh, okay, I see. This is actually the opposite. So, if the amount of bullets in just one clip for that gun is more than how many bullets we actually have left in that gun, then it's just going to add however many bullets are left in our gun to that clip. So let's say we have like 3 bullets left in the gun, and this is our combine, but our combine has 12 bullets in the clip. When you reload it, it's only going to add those 3 bullets to the clip. That's what it's going to do right here. It's just add to our current clip. Otherwise, though, we're going to say gun, current clip, bracket, line, current gun, bracket, plus equals, global, dot, data gun clip, bracket, line, guns, another bracket, line, current gun, double brackets. So it's saying, but if we have more bullets to spare, then however, so let's say if we have 15 bullets left, and there's the clip of 12, then it's just going to add 12, which is the clip right here, to how many bullets are in the current clip of our guy. That's the whole reloading system. Whew, no problem. Everything is set. And okay, so that's basically all of our reloading stuff all done, everything that we need to do. Okay, so now this is where we're going to get to more of the complicated stuff. So first off, the first thing we need to do is basically we have these variables right here. All these right here. These are meant as just placeholder variables to keep track of just the information of the gun that we are currently holding. So we need to update those variables based off of the gun that we're holding. So we're going to do triple dash adjust gun stats. Okay? And this will get it'll just become a lot. It makes sense, but you know. So first we go max underscore gun underscore frame equals global dot data underscore gun underscore frames bracket line guns bracket line current gun bracket. That's how one line of this information is going to go. Is that basically we're just looking at the database of the information based off our gun in our inventory, and we're setting that variable to that so we can kind of store that information on our player, so he can have that, so he can use that when firing and things like that. So what I'm going to do is actually I'm going to highlight just this bracket part right here. You see how much I have that highlighted? I'm going to go Control C, copy that, just so we can add on that part because it's going to be there every single time. Now we're just going to keep going. Rate is equal to global dot data underscore gun underscore rate, and then I'm going to Control V paste, and that's all done like that. Bull underscore speed is equal to global dot data underscore gun underscore speed. Control V paste, so we had that. Clip is equal to global dot data gun clip paste. Current bullets is equal to global. Oh, is equal to, this one's a little bit different because it's not global. Bullets gun whoa. Let's try it again. Gun current clip, and then this one's just gonna be bracket line current gun bracket. Then we have max underscore B for maximum bullets. We're gonna go global dot data underscore gun underscore max paste. Bullets, which is how many bullets I think we have total. Gun current ammo bracket line current gun. We're getting pretty close to the end here, and then the other bracket. Reload, which is our reload speed. Global data gun reload paste. You can see how this is starting to get just a big massive numbers or letters and stuff like that. It gets crazy. So then the next line is going to be spread equals global dot data gun length paste. Length oh, I did that wrong. This is supposed to be, instead of double gun length or data gun length, it's supposed to be data gun spread. Length is supposed to be global data gun length paste. Name equals global dot data gun name paste. And then knock, which is knockback, global data gun knock. Boom. Okay. Once again, a little complicated, but we'll see how we use these variables. Basically, we're just setting these per gun so that we can use this information when dealing with like firing, reloading, everything like that. So we know exactly what we're dealing with per gun in our inventory. That's basically all that's happening here. But because there's a lot of stats that we originally set, we need to have a lot of variables to keep track of basically all those things and a little bit more. We're going to get this all to work. And it is pretty complicated, but the idea is that it's supposed to be for complicated, more systems and stuff like that. But you can have as many, you can add more stats, probably, except the arguments are going to be a little bit different. You can have less stats and one like that. You just have to get this information differently depending on, you know, what variables you actually have and whatnot. So that's all done. Now we're going to do the firing weapon thing so that we can fire our gun. Now this one doesn't actually get too crazy, but you know, we'll get right to it. So we're gonna add in more code. So I like to separate it all out so that way I can put different comments and just say fire weapon. That way, if I need to edit just one different thing, or if I'm getting a problem in a specific area, I can go and I can just look and find it really quickly. So now we're gonna do just right off the bat. First, if mouse check button, and B for mouse button left. So basically, is that if our mouse button is down at all. Now we need to go if alarm 0, which is just our fire rate alarm, is equal to -1, which means we're not kind of waiting on our next bullet, right? Alarm 1 is equal to -1, which is our reloading alarm, so if we're not reloading any bullets either. And gun current clip bracket line current gun bracket is greater than 0. So as long as we have a bullet in our current clip right now in that specific gun, and we're not reloading and we're not like interrupted by our fire rate or anything like that, as in basically if we're a-okay to fire, we're going to say gun frame equals 0. So that'll make sure our gun frame goes back to 0 to reset the firing animation and whatnot. Alright, then we're going to say with instance create. Basically, this is where we're going to make our bullet. X plus gun underscore X plus, so basically we're going to fire it from the origin of like our guy's shoulder, right? And then we're going to pull this again. Length dir X. Length, which is the variable that we have, because if we go back here, we can go adjust gun stats. Length is the global data gun length, which we set way back here to our length being gun length 20. That's what that's referencing all the way back to. It's just that length variable. Well, so you can see why we have to set everything like that. And aim. Alright, so basically we have this length variable to make sure that the bullet is being created like at the front of our gun based off of the shoulder, where it is, and like where we're aiming. That's pretty much everything that's doing right there. We're gonna do the same thing but with y plus gun underscore y plus length dir y. I'm actually gonna scoot this over and make this pretty large. Length, we gotta put a G in there. Length dir y. Same thing. Length, comma, aim, parenthesis, object. Now, we need to refer back to our database again to get our object. So we go global dot data gun object, which we store as either object bullet 1, object bullet 2, or whatever, right? Bracket line. And now we actually want to say other point guns, because at this point, whenever we use other, it's going to be referring back to our player object. So right now, we need to refer back to our player object, which guns is his inventory of guns. Bracket line, other point, current gun. So basically, oh, we need to close this parenthesis and another parenthesis. Okay. Basically, make sure we find the X and Y coordinates of where we're actually going to make our bullet, and then find the actual bullet object that we're going to be making based off of what gun we're holding. Now this isn't too complicated. We just need to give it some variable. Speed is equal to other point bull speed, which we set as well. Direction equals other point aim plus, and then this is where we put in like our spread and our accuracy, right? So we put iRandom range of minus other point ACC, which is our guy's accuracy, other point ACC. So basically the range that it's going to add on to the direction is our accuracy, which is the degrees at which the bullets are going to spread out. And in our case, we go back, our accuracy is 3. Our accuracy is 3. There we go. So our bullets will kind of have a random direction that they're going to go a little bit. So our bullets won't be like going towards the same spot every time. Like they'll have a little bit of variation depending on our accuracy, which is cool because then we can have upgrades to like our player's accuracy to get it more, well, accurate. And then on top of that, we're going to go iRandom range. Same thing, but we're going to go minus other point spread and other point spread. And remember, spread is a variable that we're setting, of course, based off of our gun's spread number. So if we go back to our controller and look at our gun stats, we can see that the spread for our combine is 0. So basically, its accuracy is based off of our player's accuracy alone. But if we look at the repeater, its spread is 2, which means its bullets are going to spread out a bit more on top of our player's accuracy no matter what. And we're going to see that as we start firing our weapons and stuff. Here we go image angle equals direction, and this will set the bullets, like direction that is facing in the direction that it's moving. Damage equals other point damage, which ours right now is 15, times global point data gun damage. And we do the same thing, bracket line other point guns, bracket line other point current gun, bracket. So this is another cool thing. So for player damage is 0. Then we're going to go look at the global data, so our database of what we set. And of course we're going to get our current gun in our inventory, plug it in, this double accessor thing. We just use this other thing because it's referring to our player, because technically we're running code inside of the bullet right now. So if we go back to our controller object and we see that for the power combine, its damage multiplier is 15. So if we look here, its damage multiplier is 1. Okay, so now if we have our pulse combine equipped, what it's going to do is that our damage is 15, and it's going to times it by 1. So the bullet damage for our combine is going to be 15. All right. However, for our repeater, our damage multiplier is 0.2. So we're going to take our damage, which is 15, and then times it by 0.2. And so if I do that real quick, 15 times 0.2 is equal to 3. Okay? So each of our bullets for our repeater is going to have 3 damage. That's all this is doing right here. And then we're going to do a similar thing right here. Knock, which is its knockback, is equal to global dot data gun knock. Same thing. Bracket line other point guns, bracket line other point current gun, bracket. So then it's going to set its knockback accordingly as well. So now, outside of this next line, we've created our gun. We've created our bullets. Now we want to go gun current. So we're back in writing code for our player object. Gun current clip, which is how many bullets we actually have in our clip. Bracket line current gun, bracket. And we're going to say minus, which in any sort of coding, if you type 2 minuses together, it just basically means it's going to subtract 1 from this value right there. And then our gun current ammo, bracket line current gun, minus as well. So it's going to -1 from its total ammo and -1 from the clip that's in our gun right now. Then we're going to say alarm 0, which is our reload, or which is like our fire rate 1. Room speed, which is 60, times rate. For our combines, So basically, we're getting a second value, like out of seconds. So if our room speed is 60, or that's how much 1 second is, we're going to times that by our rate. And for our pulse combine, our rate is 0.8. So it's going to be 0.8 of a second, basically, is what it's saying here. Is how often it's going to fire. That's everything as far as the like firing the guns and stuff like that. We can actually check that out now. Let's go back to the game and make sure it works. Some stuff won't be working, of course. We have actually just a little bit of code to go before this is already set up. Hopefully nothing crashes. So as you can see, we can now look. I'm holding on the mouse button, and we are firing our bullets. And it's because we programmed the bullets already to fire into the thing. Now we can't actually fire right now because technically we shot 12 times and we ran out of bullets in our clip. Now we can't reload yet because we haven't programmed him to reload yet, but that's kind of cool. Then now we can switch to but since this one's out of ammo in our clip right now, we can switch to number 2 though, and this one still has bullets in its clip, right? If we switch for this gun, we still can't fire. We can fire this one. And now this one's out of bullets in its clip too, and we can't fire, so now none of them can fire. Alright? Alright. Sweet. Now, let's just add a little bit more code so we can reload. So we're going to go fire a weapon. And now under this, we want to say if current bullets equals 0. So, you know, the bullets in our clip right now is equal to 0, and alarm 1 is equal to -1 is if we're not reloading as well, and bullets is greater than 0. So current bullets is how many bullets we have in our clip. Bullets is how many bullets we have in that gun total, and the one that we're holding. These are also, keep in mind, of the ones that we are holding. Then we're going to say alarm 1 equals reload times room speed. Same thing right here is that if we look at the reload, this reload time is 2, as in 2 seconds. So we're going to times it by room speeds of how many steps we're going to actually be reloading, so that it'll be 2 seconds. So now if we go back into our game, we should be able to reload our gun. And hopefully we can see that. So when it runs out. So I would see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We start firing for a second, and then we're back up. 2, 3, 4, 5. So got some cool stuff there. Going for our guns, we can do the same thing here. And also notice, so you can see the bullets are kind of hitting random spots. That's the result of our accuracy and our spread amount. So we're hitting 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, 5 Mississippi, just about. And then we start firing again because that was our reload time. Now right now we have no visuals. That's something we're going to do next time, like visuals on reloading, gun ammo, and stuff like that. Right now we're just getting the system to work. And eventually if I keep firing long enough and reloading, we'll run out of bullets, and then we won't have any more to fire. So, pretty good. Now, let's just do a few more things so that we can do some other like functionality. So we're going to go back into our step event and our fire weapon. A few more things we got to do. Now we want to be able to reload manually though. Keyboard, check, pressed. We're going to do the same thing. So ORD, the single quotation, R. So like I explained before, is that now we're going to say if once we've pressed the R key, if current bullets is less than clip. So basically, if the bullets in our amount of clip is less than the maximum, like our actual clip, like how many bullets are in each clip, that's hard to explain. Then, so basically, this will stop us from reloading if we have full bullets in our clip. And bullets are greater than 0. I've done something weird here. Oh, I forgot to put and. There we go. I also feel like there's a bit of a weird thing here. Let's also add in an extra thing here. It says and alarm 1 is equal to -1. So if we're not already reloading, let's add that in to make sure. All right, now we're going to say alarm 1 once again is equal to reload times room speed. Oh, I forgot equals. Wow, I'm losing my mind now. There we go. And then we're going to say gun current clip is bracket line current gun bracket equals 0. So basically it's just going to put 0 into our clip so that we can't fire while we're reloading. This will allow us to reload manually. So we can test this out real quick. We go into our game and we let that load. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to hold the mouse button. All right. We have our power combine. I'm holding the mouse button 2, 3, 4, and then I'm going to press R. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi. We're reloading. Bam. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then now we're reloading again. So our reloading system works. We can't, like I said, we can't see anything as far as if we're reloading or not. We'll fix that later, like I said. But for right now, that's what it is. And our shoulder is really close. It just needs to be moved up 1, maybe? Yeah. Anyways, so that's all working perfectly fine. I don't know why I need to exit that out every time. That's a little weird. I'm actually going to go and fix that real quick. So let's actually just move this up 1. Bink. And then that should fix that. All right. Now, I think, just a few more things. Then, we're going to say, we're going to do our animation right now. So if alarm 0, so in between shots, is not equal to -1. So basically, if we're in between shots, right? If gun frame is less than max gun frame, right? So if our animation's not done yet, basically is what's that saying? Gun frame plus equals image speed. And our image speed right now is 0.5. That's just to make sure that our gun isn't like animating faster than our player. But yeah, so this will basically say, so that's what's cool. We set our gun frame to 0. And if our max gun frame, in the case of our power combine, is 9, because that's how many frames we have in the animation, it'll add until it gets to that point. And then we say otherwise, though, else gun frame equals 0. So if we're not firing at all, like, as in if this is just at -1 and like our gun isn't shooting, we're just going to keep it at 0, because that's like its idle frame. All right, so now we can go into the game and we can test this out. So we should have some good animations for both of them because we've set all of the variables beforehand. So we go, bam, now we're actually firing our gun. And if I switch between them, the shoulder stays the same, which is good. But yeah, ta-da! And those bullets are going to fly off forever, except they're going to stop right there. We're reloading right now, because we programmed that when they go out of the room, they're going to die. So we're shooting at nothing, but that's okay. So we're shooting at some stuff. We should reload soon. We're reloading right now because I'm just holding the mouse button. So it's pretty cool. Then we can switch to R2. And we say this one has a much faster animation because of where it's going. So you can see the bullets are up a little bit. So you can add some stuff to fix that. But for right now, I'm not worrying about it at the moment. So everything's good. Everything's working. I'm just holding the mouse button still. And everything's going. And we can switch between guns right here. Bam. Bam, 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 bam. Pretty interesting and whatnot. So that's going to do it for this episode. I know it was a lot. Hopefully you're not like, you're not completely brain dead at this moment, because I am a little bit. Yeah, but that'll do it. Thank you so much for watching. Please leave a like if you enjoyed this video and subscribe if you want to see more of this crap. Always remember to have a complete breakfast, and we'll see you guys next time. Adios.